As we've been detailing, Hispanics are ditching the anti-prosperity, anti-freedom, anti-cop, anti-white, anti-American left. According to new Quinnipiac polling, Biden's approval rating among Hispanics has dropped to 19%, an all-time low. Joining me now is attorney and chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, Matt Rinaldi. Also with us is president of the Libre Initiative, Daniel Garza. Mr. Garza, we're going to speak with you first. My good friend Chris X, he's broadcasting live at CPAC right now, and he's on the same radio station I'm on. And he says Hispanics are making a major splash at CPAC this year. Now, all it took was Biden and his Democrats showing the failure of socialism and a failure of our quality of life to spur what Ted Cruz is calling a generational shift away from the Democrat Socialist Party to the Republican Party. How do you see it?
Yeah, Chris, it's high time that the Republican Party invested in the Latino community, did the outreach and the engagement, because when you line up both agendas of both the Democrats and the Republicans, it is clear that the GOP's agenda, which is pro-growth, pro-job, pro-energy, energy abundance, lines up with the Latino community much better, right? You know, the priorities of the Democrats on pronouns and wanting to change the language to Latinx, this war on energy, especially for Latinos in Texas. Listen, they're on their heels and they're desperate. Latinos are no longer a get out the vote pool for them, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, no Latino that I speak to will use the term Latinx. They're offended by it, and of course it shows you the temperament of the Democrat Party. They want to force it on us anyway, which is what, socialists, communists, and Democrats do. Mr. Chairman, 2 public school districts in Oklahoma were found violating the state's critical race theory ban and got nothing but a stern wagging of the finger. Back in 2018, 3 Texas school districts were caught electioneering, using taxpayer money to politic for Democrats. Again, no punishment. The GOP has passed silly laws like this all over the country, not just in Texas or in Oklahoma, where those in government aren't punished when they break the law. How can the Republican Party credibly complain about crime in our streets when they refuse to punish crime committed by those in government? And shouldn't government have a higher punishment standard because they're the bearers of the public trust?
Yes, Chris, they absolutely should. And when we ban critical race theory in our schools, when we ban sexualization of children in our schools, it can't be just for show. We need a punishment behind it, and it does. It needs to be a stern punishment. We need to defund schools that are teaching these toxic and un-American concepts to our children in schools. We can look to Ron DeSantis in Florida as an example on what he did to district attorneys that refused to follow the law and enforce the law. He's removing them from office. We did the same thing here in Texas in our sanctuary city bill. What is the punishment for violation of that bill? You can be removed from office. We need to punish these government officials and hold them to a higher standard.
Amen. Daniel, I wanted to show what left-wingers really think of we Latinos who wander off the Democrat plantation. Here's what Mayra Flores' opponent, Democrat Congressman Vicente Gonzalez, told MSNBS. Watch.
The Democratic Party is the party of the people, the working people, who we are and who we really identify with. So I think she's just confused, and it's sad that these are just talking points from the Republican Party, that we have a candidate in South Texas gibbering around, but they do not reflect the values of South Texas.
Wow. Gibbering around. And here's CNN columnist Raul Reyes on my program, doubling down on his assertion that GOP Latina candidates are not the, quote, real deal. Watch.
Many of the views that she holds are just not in sync with the Latino mainstream.
All right. Now, how can the left call Republicans bigoted with examples of bigotry that you just saw?
Yeah, that's just it, right? Vicente Gonzalez is small-minded politicians. That's what he is. He lacks character and is really in over his head. And so is, again, like a person like Raul Reyes, because they've always projected their ideas, their agenda onto the Latino community, and we've never accepted this. the notion that somehow you get to define who we are because you're a talking head on television is ludicrous. Look, Democrats again are on their heels, and this administration in particularly is taking us from bad to worse on inflation, and Latinos know it. They are clearly clueless on the causes of inflation. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doubling down on the spending, continuing the war on energy, or crushing the private sector with more taxes that will weigh down the productive capacities of our economy. Small business owners, Chris, it's the most serious economic problem we have, and the Biden team doesn't know how to deal with it, just like the Democrats don't know how to deal with this political shift that Latinos are part of in real time here. They're just appeasing the radical left is what they're doing, and so is somebody like Raul Reyes and Vicente Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, socialists don't know how to administer an economy, that's for sure. And folks, just so you all know out there, Latino does not equal liberal. Mr. Chairman, last thing. Democrats have abandoned their own in Webb County and Hidalgo County down here in Texas. I spoke to officials who have reached out to the Biden administration. They're desperate to stop the pain that Biden is causing through his multiple border crises. Their suffering has only been ignored by the Democrat Party in and out of the White House. What is the GOP of Texas doing to help these Democrats who have been abandoned by their own party, the way Biden abandoned American citizens in Afghanistan?
We're trying to help Democrats that are turning to the Republican Party. We even had a state representative in South Texas at the border who switched parties, and we were very involved in that last year. And came to our party. And they're leaving the Republican Party because they see the disaster at the border that the Biden administration's caused. They see the disaster that the economy of the Biden administration's caused for families. And like you had brought up as well, cultural issues that are affecting their children. I mean, go to a working class community in South Texas, knock on any door you see, a working class family, and ask them what their pronouns are. And they'll look at you like you're an idiot, and they should. We have seen enormous gains in South Texas. With Myra Flores, we flipped a House seat that Biden won by 14 points. In Cameron County, Texas, Myra Flores won Cameron County. That's Brownsville. Democrats won that by 30 points 4 years ago. This is a monumental shift.
It is. It is a generational shift, just like as Senator Cruz said. Matt Rinaldi and Daniel Garza, thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate the conversation.